Welcome to my complete guide on how to find every collectible in the Battlefield 6 campaign. Now, gathering these collectibles allow you to unlock some pretty cool cosmetics, including skins for operators, so they're well worth doing. But they are super tricky to find. In my first playthrough of the campaign, I think I found 3 out of 30 of them. I would strongly advise that the first time you play through the campaign, you just play through it normally. Ignore the collectibles, play through it the way it was meant to be played, because you'll enjoy it way more that way. Then you can go back and pick up all of the collectibles you've missed using this guide. If you find it useful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. In the first mission, there's 3 separate collectibles, and the first one is super easy to find, and you can grab it just after you do this section where you're on the turret of a jeep trying to escape the base. Once you get parked up in the forest, you'll get out of the jeep with the rest of your squad and you'll run up to this temporary little base. On the left here you can see there's a couple of ammo boxes and the collectible is just in between them on top of those ammo crates. The next collectible is in the server building. So when you get to the section where it asks you to plant the second C4 charge and you get onto this floor, you can see the objective marker just there of where you're meant to plant the second C4 charge. If you just go around to the left of this pillar, you'll see this notice board and the collectible is just stabbed into the notice board using a dagger. So you can just interact to collect the second one. For the third and final collectible on this level, on the section where you are defending the evac point on the rooftop, you should be able to see it glinting right at the end of this long corridor where a lot of the enemies are coming from. So just push up through here. I was doing this on easy, just to make it easier to get the collectibles. And you can grab the collectible from this table next to the ice cooler. And then you are done for level 1. If you've already done this level before, you can actually just quit the level. You don't need to play it all the way to the end. Now, on to the second mission. For the first collectible in this mission, as soon as you land from your parachute up on this kind of peak of Gibraltar, what you want to do is turn around, go immediately behind you, and if you just look at this blue box here, the first collectible is just sitting there so you can grab that one straight away. When you get into the museum section of the level, you'll go past the Spitfire on the left. If you just head down these stairs, you'll see this desk that gets occasionally illuminated, and the second collectible is just sitting on the desk here. So it's actually quite hard to see. It doesn't seem to glint like all of the other ones do, but it's just sitting here between these 2 pairs of headphones, so you can just collect that one, William Bridger, and that's the second one done. When you get to this section with the objective secure Anne's battery and they're telling you to destroy the last AAA, then if you just head on down past this weird sleeping bag on a picnic bench, that doesn't look like the most comfortable place to sleep. But anyway, if you head on down here and see this sort of tan container, this orange container, there's a bunch of stuff in there like an RPG, and just hanging up on the left here, again with a knife through it, is the last collectible for this level. So you can just pick that up. You can see that I've done the assignments challenge, so I've got a new player card background for that one. And then if I look in the menu, I can see I've done all 3 for this mission. Again, you don't need to finish the mission after this. If you've already completed the campaign, you can just go back to the menu and then select the next mission. So now on to the third mission, and after you've done the whole sort of first tank section and then you're on foot, you have to fight through this area. There's a bunch of soldiers and there's a tank busting through the right, and when it asks you to meet up with that armored vehicle on the right again, what you want to do instead is just head up these steps. So head up these stairs where there was some snipers and turret emplacements and things like that before, and just behind the stairs you should be able to see this collectible just here.
Attack recovered.
Once you've picked it up, that one's done. That's the first one on this mission, and then on to the next. Okay, for the second one, you'll get to this point where you have to go up some stairs to kind of clear the way ready for the tank, and the objective will be reach to Overwatch position. Your team will move through this building and up these stairs, so you can just follow them up through there. And then through the next building and out into the corridor. Then when you get back into an outdoor area, if you just turn around to the right, there's a little kind of gardening table with somebody who really, really likes wine, and the collectible is just on the table there. So you can grab that one, Nina Byrne, and then if you look, you can see that's the second one done. Then finally for this mission, when you're asked to take back City Hall, you have to fight through this entire square, and then when you get into City Hall, if you just make an immediate left and head into this little side room, you'll see there's a poster here that says "Do not feed the macaques." So don't feed the monkeys in Gibraltar. But there's also the last collectible stabbed into this poster. So you can collect that one, and that one's complete, and then you should unlock a player card icon for being an elite raider. But you can see that's all free for this mission. We're now over a third of the way through. Now we're on mission 4, and you can just play through the level until you get to this section where it asks you to sweep the upper floor, and you'll see this staircase you have to go up inside the mansion. So head up this staircase. There'll be some enemies in this room where it gets set on fire. You can go through these doors and then through the next set of doors that's just in front of you, and you'll be in this room that's got like an office setup. Go through to the left and you'll get into this little private bathroom, and the first collectible is just hanging from this painting here. So just pick that up. That's Ahmed Gamal, and you can see there that's the first collectible on this mission done. For the second tag, you want to get to this point where you can see the pyramids in the distance and you're kind of on a football court. So it says when you're locating the exfil transport, just after you have been hiding from a helicopter. You had to kind of duck into a building in a helicopter. You want to look for a staircase. There's one just here, and you can see there's these paint cans, and the dog tag is just on the ledge here next to a little bit of graffiti that says "Together we are stronger." So you can just collect that one, and you can see in the menu that is the second one done. Just after the section where you have to survive the ambush, so your exfil truck will get blown up and then you have to run through loads of alleyways. Eventually you'll get to a point where it says that their heli is bugging out, and they say finally some good news, and you'll get to this sort of corner. Now, just on the left here, you'll see this shop, which has some mannequins in it. There's a bunch of shops with mannequins in, but this is the one you want. It's got sandals outside as well. And there's a mannequin that says, "Thanks for the coffee" on its chest. Just at the bottom of that mannequin is the collectible that you want. So grab that one, and then you see that is the third one for this level done. There's actually 4 on this level, so 1 more than usual, so let's go get that one. So for the final tag, you should get the objective to take down the helicopter, and then this door will be opened up near Lopez. If you go through there, it takes you down to a munitions stash, and then just behind the stairs, kind of on this poster, is the last collectible for this mission. Just pinned through this no packs poster. So grab that one for Kim Brooks, and now you've got all 4 of them, and you've unlocked the Recon character skin Urban Sprawl, which is one of the better rewards you get for doing this. So on mission 5, the first collectible is super early on. So this is where you spawn into level and you're asked to go to Acre's briefing in this room. If you go in here and then immediately turn left, you'll see the collectible. You can barely see it actually because it's quite dark, but it's just on this table here as soon as you go into the room. So interact with that and grab the first one of these collectibles. Once you're in Kincaid's war room, this building, you'll have quite a lengthy cutscene in here, but once it's over you can explore a little bit. Instead of going down the stairs with the others, if you go over to this chipboard, you can grab this collectible off there. That's the second one done on this mission. So for the third one on this mission, just after the train chase, you'll crash, and then you should be able to see this shipping container inside the tunnel. And then if you just look around inside here, again, you can barely see it to be honest, but it's just on the corner of this box. If I put night vision on, maybe you can see it a little bit better there. It's just there. So this is just in this container, just after you do the train chase section. You should be able to grab that. And then that is the last one done, so you get another skin, you get the support character skin, Gridlock for that, and that's all 3 done. Now on mission 6, to get the first tag, after you finish talking to the president in the fire station, so you go into the fire station, clear it out, go upstairs, speak to the president, you'll be looking at these stairs. Instead of going up them, turn left and go around the corner, and you can head into this kind of little canteen section with a load of tables. If you go all the way to the back of this and then go to the kitchen counter at the back, you should just be able to see the collectible here next to some lovely snacks and some donuts. Anyone who's tried to learn Blender will appreciate those donuts a little bit more, I think. So for the next collectible, when you get to this part of the park where you're asked to find a drone command center and you find this bit of all the construction stuff in the park, there's a building here on the left. So just kill some of the enemies around here to give yourself a little bit of breathing room. And do be aware that people will be shooting you with RPGs. But the tag that you want should just be on the floor just here next to these boots. I'm going to keep on getting interrupted by people I need to shoot here. You can see it just in here next to the boots on the floor. Even if this building gets destroyed, the tag will still be on the floor. It won't move. So you can just pick that up. And you can see that is the second one on this level. For the next tag, once you're going through the subway tunnels and your objective is reach forward operating base, and you get onto this kind of subway platform, you'll be fighting a load of soldiers that are coming from the far end. If you just look on the left, you'll see this kind of little shop, the quick stop. And then if you just look over to the right from there, moving towards the train tracks, you'll see this little rabbit. And the collectibles is just next to this rabbit and this kind of duffel bag and the maps. So just pick up that one. And you can see that is the third one for this level. This is another level with 4 of them, so we've got 1 more to find. Once you get out of the subway and you can see the bridge there, if you just cross the road at the T-junction, you'll get into a park. And if you go all the way to the left down here, and then up these stairs, you should be able to see a corpse that's just sitting here. And the dog tags that you need are just on the floor next to that corpse. So just in the park over here next to this corpse, and you should be able to pick that up, and that is that mission completed. For the first one in mission 7, where you're in the tank for most of it, you have to do all of the tank section, and then you'll dismount and have to go through this building. As soon as you get out of the building, look to the right of the building and you'll just see the collectible just here at the base of this tree. So you can just interact with that and collect it. Very shortly after you pick up that last tag, you'll be fighting across this massive square. If you just go into this building on the right with the kind of blue front to it, and then turn right, you'll see the tag pinned through a poster just at the back of the room. And you can just walk up to that and pick that up off another one of these no packs posters. And that's you done for this mission. On mission 8 for the first tag, right near the beginning, you'll be heading down this valley on a quad bike. So you'll drop off a bomb on top of some enemies up there, and then you'll drive the quads all the way down here until you find this group of 3 buildings, kind of on the left-hand side of the valley. The one you want is just at the back here. So you want to go into this building, and then just underneath the window, you can just see it glinting there. There is the first collectible for this mission. This mission's obviously a little bit trickier than the others because it's very, very open, but that's the first one, and we've got 3 more to find. The second tag on this level is probably the most difficult one to find because you've got this huge area to search. You've got 3 objectives, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, and the only tag in this area is actually in a building just over there. So near where those kind of lights on that tall pole are, there's a village right in the middle, and that's the building you're aiming for. Now, I've already cleared this out and brought a vehicle over. You can find vehicles dotted around on this area, but this is where you want to head to. On this section of it, by the way, I'm not sure if other people have noticed this, but your team, you don't need to wait for them to get in the truck. They will just kind of teleport to you, which is super handy. But anyway, if you just drive on over without crashing into too much, and then you go up here onto this wall, there will be enemies here, but you're looking for this building that's got a picture of a goat on the side. If you go in there, you'll see just on this little box, this is the dog tag that's in this whole area. Massive shout out to James, who showed me where a bunch of these dog tags were, and this one in particular was going to be an absolute nightmare to find. So just grab that one, and then you've got the second one on this map, and thankfully the other 2 are not as hard to find. So after you get through the substation and you get shot at by a sniper and you have to check on Lopez, remember where that sniper was, up on these rocks, because that's where you're going to be heading for the next dog tag. So you kind of hop on up here and then go back. You can see this little chair and table there. Then up here there's a crate. There's a fancy pistol on here, an M44. And then just on this crate, you'll find the 3rd collectible for this mission.
Tag recovered.
There you go, that's the 3rd one done. On to the last one for this mission. Towards the end of the mission, when you get the objective to reach the top of the dam after destroying the last data link, you'll have a cutscene and then it will say reach the top of the dam. These 2 quads will be the obvious way to get up top of the dam, but what you want to do is head behind this forklift here And the last dog tag is just sitting here on this ammo crate. So you can just pick that up. And then that is mission 8 completed. That's all of your dog tags for this level. We've just got the last mission to do now. In the final mission, you'll end up storming this outpost, and towards the end of it, there's this giant warehouse. The first tag is inside here, so if you just go inside the front, the tag will just be sitting on the ground just here. For the second tag on this level, just when you go through the side of this big warehouse, there's a massive hole in the side of it, and you can see the radar dish up there, and your objective is to disable NXC Launcher Alpha. If you just go through the warehouse like you're meant to, but then immediately turn right, you'll see there's this concrete block here and some boots, and the collectible is just on top of that concrete block. So pick that one up, and you should see you've got 2 out of 4 of these ones done. For the third tag, as soon as you get to the first NXC launcher in this bunker, if you just go straight to the back of the bunker, you'll see it glinting there. It's kind of got a gold glint to it. This is the third collectible just here. For the final dog tag, as soon as you get into the bunker where the objective is find Kincaid, so there's the big explosion, you run into the bunker, and then there's a cutscene. Once you get out of that cutscene, the final dog tag is just on the left here. So literally you just walk forwards and then it's on the left. Pick that up, and then you should get the assignment challenge completed for the engineer character skin and the winner take all dog tag, because you've got all 30 of those dog tags. If you found this guide useful, don't forget to leave a like and let me know in the comments whether you managed to get all 30 of these. And if you want to see more Battlefield content, I'll be doing streams, there'll be videos just about fun stuff in the game, as well as guides for Easter eggs and secrets. Make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on. As a special treat for those of you who watched right to the end of this video, because you people are absolute legends, here's a secret collectible that's actually right at the beginning of the game. So right at the start of the campaign, just after you talk to your squad for the first time, if you turn around, do a 180 and look at the table behind you, you'll see there's this dinosaur on the table, and you actually get an interact prompt to pick it up. Now, you have to be standing quite close to it to pick it up, but if you do pick it up, you get a cool little animation. Obviously, this has been kind of a running joke about dinosaurs in Battlefield, but when you pick this up, you do get a special secret achievement. If you see this bit, maybe comment "raw" in the comments, just so I can tell how many people saw this.